Good afternoon, Facebook. I am so happy to be coming to you this beautiful, rainy Saturday. I know we hate the rain, we hate Facebook Live, we hate people, but that's really okay. We just got to get up and do what we was called and chosen to do, irregardless of the rain. What's up, Shine Majors? You might appreciate this message on today. All right, so I'm going to give it a little time, give people an opportunity to get on. My message today is going to be talking about overnight success. And, you know, even before I get into that, I was talking about the rain and how, people hate the rain. Do you realize that somebody is going to miss out on a blessing today because they didn't want to get wet? They don't want their hair to get messed up or their shoes or whatever. But somebody is going to receive their blessing today because they're going to go out there and tackle this rain. See, a lot of what has to do with the success in our life has to do with how we perceive things. Some people are perceiving the rain as a problem. I've seen a lot of complaints up and down the timeline about the rain. Oh my God, it's raining and all that, And then there's other people, oh, the rain is so beautiful, beating down on my window and I'm getting the best sleep, So it's really how you look at things. So I'm not going to try to take up too much of your time. Overnight success. Is there really such a thing? Yes and no. It takes time, though, to become an overnight success. As you are grinding, as you are preparing, as you are doing the grunge work and, the behind the scenes activities to get you to the point of success, nobody really sees that, okay? Or nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to participate in that or support that, really, but you're going through it. And then there's that 24-hour period between yesterday and today when you cross the burning sand and become that overnight success. It wasn't that you didn't do anything or put in the work or take the time that was needed to become an overnight success, but becoming an overnight success takes time. I hope y'all hear me. So we get frustrated when we don't have the support. We get frustrated when we hear, no, I'm not interested. We get frustrated when things don't go the way that we think they should. And then it knocks us out the game. Well, if you get knocked out the game, success ain't even an option at this point. So the question is, are you going to continue to push through the no's and the rejection and the lack of support and lack of love and everything in your mind that you think people should be doing to help you out? At the end of the day, this is your journey. This is your dream. This is your vision. This is your blessing. So you're the one that truly has to have the right mindset. So I want to encourage you today to allow no negative communication to proceed from your mouth, especially as it relates to your perception of what you think other people ought to be doing for you in your pursuit of success. I'm going to also tell you that success takes effort. You're going to have to do some work. It's just that simple. You're going to have to do some work. And it's also going to take faith. You have to believe that you are doing what you were called to do. And you have to believe that the Most High Himself has gifted you and blessed you. You must, because you have this burning desire and you have to do it. You can't stop and won't stop. That's evidence that you're on the right path and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. The rejection, that's not the evidence that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Understand that. The rejection, okay, and the no's and the obstacles and the trials and tribulations, all of that is for you. It's building character. It's building strength. Okay. It's developing the person who is going to be prepared for that moment when you become a success. Because see, at that point in time, that's when all the people gonna start coming out the woodwork. That's when all the people gonna start claiming you as they cousin, they best friend, they uncle, they auntie, whatever. Now everybody know you. So you're gonna have a certain amount of humility, grace, compassion, professionalism, and empathy to deal with all that. So this is your journey. This is your walk. And God is preparing you for greater. Okay. One of my mentors, Johnny Wimbrey, said on his video the other day, who gave you permission to walk? When you was about 9 to 12 months old, who gave you permission to walk? You just got up and felt like, hey, it's time. I see all these other people walking. I need to get to stepping. That was built in you. So that's letting you know that you were destined for greatness. All right? You were created for greatness, but we've been programmed for failure. Sip on that real slow. I got that little quote from my cousin, Trisha Russian. She says all that. It says, sip on that real slow. Okay, so overnight success. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take faith. I'm just going to give you a little example. I can't share with you anything other than what I've already experienced and what I know. So I'm going to share, my life with you as it relates to becoming an overnight success. Now, I have had success in my life in certain areas. You have too. Think about it. You successfully completed preschool, elementary, junior high, high school. Some of us have college educations and have landed great jobs. So that's success. Again, success also has to do with your perception of what success is, not what the world or anyone else deems appropriate for success. What does success mean to you? That's what's most important. And we are programmed to be people pleasers. You're always looking for permission from other people to validate you and what you're trying to do on this road to success. So eliminate all of that and just focus on your vision, your dreams, your goals, and what you believe success is, and stay focused on that and stay in tune with that. And regardless of the no's, regardless of the rejections, regardless of the declined applications, keep pushing, because as long as you keep pushing, you are going to get there. Now that I do know. Okay, so check it out. My first real job, I went right out of high school on into college, the model student and all these things. But I really think I was burnt out from going so hard and becoming this exceptional student in high school. And I applied for the 6-year med program at UMKC. And guess what? Denied. Application was denied. And it was just, I was so baffled. How do you graduate in the top 10% of your class? How do you be on National Honor Society, Principal's Honor Roll every quarter? I didn't do exceptional on the ACT, but my numbers were good and everything else as far as the factors. By all intent purposes, I should have been admitted. Well, I look up and one of my classmates whose father was a doctor, and we actually used to help him do his homework, okay? But he got accepted into the 6-year med program, and I was so devastated. I was so hurt. I was so, hi, Bryce. And I was so jealous. How did he get into the 6-year medical program and I didn't? I'm the good student. I come to school every day. I'm doing my own homework. I'm doing his homework for him to, it was all about me, and I was all in my feelings, and I just could not believe it. Well, that summer, this same guy robbed the 7-Eleven right across the street from my high school and ended up becoming incarcerated and did time. Of course, his slot, he didn't make it to the 6-year medical program, duh. But of course, it was who they knew and pulling strings and all of that. That stuff is still in effect. But he didn't make it. Now, I still went on ahead and admitted to UMKC. but I was lost. I had no direction. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to be because that was my dream at the time. But through me going to school, I started understanding that I had other skills, other talents, other interests, and I changed my major. And I ended up graduating with a double major in administration of justice and psychology. Now, mind you, getting back to my first real job, after I had quit school, because I didn't just go all the way through my 4 years, I took a job, and I was making $4.04 an hour. Well, I had just had my son. I was 21 years old, thought I was grown, and I need a real job. I need a job with benefits because I got to take care of me and mine. So me and my girlfriend got this job, and, it was fine for a while. Back then, 404, it was minimum wage, but, I was able to make it. I was still living at home. But after about 10 months, I was like, you know what? This ain't enough. I wasn't complacent. I've always wanted more. So I took the civil service exam and I got accepted into the IRS pending my application for other government jobs. IRS was a temporary position. I got the job. I was a seasonal employee. My hourly wage went way up. It went like from $4.04 to maybe like $7 an hour. I think that was a big jump. No benefits though. So that was the drawback. But again, I'm still living at home. My baby's healthy. I'm healthy. It's all good. Civil service exam comes back. I qualified, passed the test. I got picked up as a payroll clerk at GSA. So again, life is good. Making good money. Now I have benefits. I was able to move out and get me and my son our own place. And, it's cool. But again, after a while, this just ain't enough. I'm ready for more. So I'm constantly wanting more. Now, some might think I took a step back, but I decided to start working for the Postal Service. And for me at that time, being a single mom and, raising my child, I just knew that I needed to go hard and be a provider at the time just because of the situation that I was in and the choices that I made. But my son changed my life. Like because of him, I wanted more. I just wanted to keep going. Plus, the way I was raised, my father raised us to want more and to be more. He wanted me to be better than him, and he was trying to strive to be better than his father and mother. And hell, you go to a little bit further back, we was in slavery. Okay, so he wasn't real happy that I didn't finish school and that I took the job at the post office. But I knew in my heart that I was doing what I had to do for my family. Looked up, I've been at the post office 14 years. Now, in the meantime, I'm working and going to school and I'm pursuing my degree, and I did finally finish, like I said. Guess what? Got done with my bachelor's degree. I wanted more. So I jumped right on in and pursued my master's. Now, I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you that it takes time to become an overnight success. It took me forever to get my bachelor's degree, but I got it. So, it took time. And guess what? The times that I didn't go is because I didn't want to feel the pain. I didn't want to go through what it took to get there, the effort. I didn't want to put the effort in. And then faith. Obviously, I was lacking in faith because I just simply didn't think I could do it. So, but I did it. I finally did it. And then with the master's, there's a little background on that. So going through my bachelor's degree and being a psych major, I kept avoiding statistics because, this is what also stumped me at college and why I backed out and quit. I got an F in college algebra. Okay. F, what? I didn't even know what an F looked like. And my first F was in college. Again, I'm devastated. My ego is bruised. I'm hurt. I'm all messed up. And my mental, now I start telling myself that school is not for me and I can't do this. And, this is for the birds and I need to get out and just make some money and get on with my life. Well, some decisions that I made at 19 years old drastically changed the direction of my life forever. And no regrets, but it is what it is. So I got off track because of lack of faith, lack of effort, and I didn't want to put the time in. So I go on out into the real world and start living my life. And again, school is still that burning desire because that's what was put in me. But I kept avoiding statistics because I flunked college algebra, and I literally had a mental block. And I just didn't think I was going to be able to do it. So now it's time to get my bachelor's degree. And they're like, well, Sean, we see that you haven't taken statistics. You got to have that to graduate. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? They were like, I freaked out. I was like, well, I guess I just ain't gonna graduate. So we talking about a 3-hour class that was going to stand between me and my degree. And I'm not playing with you. I was not going to take statistics, and they knew it and they saw it. So they were like, okay, we can do this. I see you have a whole bunch of credits in criminal justice. So we're going to take your criminal justice credits and flip those. Some of those can be elective, but we're going to flip it. And then you'll end up with a double major in administration of justice and psychology, but you're going to have to take, it was either 6 or 9 more hours. And then you can graduate with your BLA with a double major in administration. You think I didn't take them extra 9 hours? You think I didn't pay that extra money? Because I wasn't about to take no statistics. No, ma'am. Not doing it. Not today. So, got that done. Going to the master's program at Avila. Life is good. Acing my classes. You can't get but 1 C in the master's program. I wasn't worried about that because I'm a scholar, right? I got this. And the way God worked it out, I was able to go 1 day a week, every other weekend. It didn't interfere with my family. I was still able to work and go to school, attend my son's games, my daughter's dance, practices. I was still able. It was all God, okay? And I'm trying to talk fast so I don't keep you guys too long. But thank you for rocking with me. So anyway, I get all the way through the master's program. Guess what was waiting on me? Statistics. I'm sweating bullets. I'm stressed out, but I'm in a different place now because I have also increased in faith. God has shown himself faithful to me through many dangers, toils, and snares, through many trials and tribulations, through many impossible situations. He showed me that I'm possible. So now my faith is a lot stronger than it was. Back then as this young person trying to finish up my bachelor's, I just was really worldly. I believed in God, but I wasn't spiritual and I really wasn't in tune. I was religious. I'll put it like that. So had no clue really what faith was. As long as life is going good for us, we good. We faithful. Praise the Lord. The Lord is good all the time. Hallelujah. We got a testimony. Hey. But as soon as the rubber meets the road and starts skidding and stuff gets bad, where the faith at? And I realized that looking back, I didn't have any faith. There's so many different things in my life and choices that I made because I didn't have faith. I said I believed in God. Okay, and even was a church goer, but I did not have faith. I'm being honest with you. So now here we are. Statistics. I took a step back and I prayed. I sincerely prayed and I said, here we are again. So, Father, I'm going to need your help. And basically, I heard God tell me, he said, I need you to go to class every day. I need you to be attentive, raise your hand, ask questions, and turn in your homework. I got you. I had no choice but to believe that because I'm getting this master's degree. I ain't spent all this money and Sally Mae on my behind to get this far and not finish. So I did just that. I went to every single class. I was attentive. I turned in my homework. Mind you, I still had a mental block where statistics was concerned. It looked like a foreign language to me. When the teacher was talking, it sounded like Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. Like, I didn't hear it. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, yeah, it was just not, it was all bad. So now, and it's accelerated too, because it was the PACE program. So the class it was only maybe 8 to 10 weeks long. So it was moving really fast. Now we're at finals. The test was, I want to say it was about 100 questions, and it was 2 or 3 pages long. And I was drawing a blank, but I did my best. I knew that I probably only answered maybe 4 of those questions correctly. But I wrote on the back of my exam to the teacher, I said, "You have been an awesome instructor. I have really, truly enjoyed your class. You know, I don't have a mental aptitude for statistics, and I promise you I'm not trying to be a statistician or run analytics for anybody. I'm just trying to graduate. You know, my strengths are this, and that, and whatever. But again, I thank you, and just know that I need this class to graduate, and if not, you'll be looking at me again next semester." So anyway, when I got my grade card and opened it up, I passed. I got a C, and it's the only C I had on my grade card, and I'm telling you, that was God. So in the instant of taking that last class in statistics to the very next day, that's when I became an overnight success. You understand what I'm saying? So all the time while I was going to class, all the time when I was stressing out, all the time that I was crying and it was hard and all of that, you know, that was the time and the effort that I was putting in. And then there came faith, and then I became an overnight success. The other example I want to give you is when I wrote my book. You know, some of you may know that I am a published author. This is not something, again, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that I have achieved some success in my life. And it's not anything, I don't brag on me, I brag on God, because it was all him. It was not my doing. So anyway, this is what the book looks like. It's called Heart Condition: From Religiosity to Relationship with the Creator. And it is available on Amazon, Westbow Press. You can even get it in ebook form on iTunes and Nook and Kindle and wherever books are sold. This book was actually my journal. So the first entry of my book was in 2002. The very last entry of my book is 2008. That's 6 years, y'all. Okay? Yes, I'm a published author. This is the finished product. But it took time and it took effort to get it done. And then ultimately it took faith for it to become a published work. The whole time I'm hearing, who do you think you are? You know, you can't publish no book. You know, like I'm hearing all of these negative things through the whole process. But faith. Now my faith had really increased because of what God did for me with statistics and the master's program. So I knew if God put all this in my heart to put onto the pages, and he told me that I was going to be a published author, then he was going to bring it to pass. And there you have it. But guess what? The first entry of the book was 2002. My book was not published until 2010. It takes time to become an overnight success. So with the book, I've reached several hundred people with it. I chose the first time around. I actually was approached by a major publisher that even has a magazine out. Some of you may have heard of Charisma Magazine. They have a publishing company called Charisma House. They are the very first publishing company that accepted and wanted to publish my book. But again, stinking thinking, negative thoughts. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel I was good enough. I didn't feel like that's what I was supposed to be doing. I had guilt about selling something that God gave me, you know, and it was a battle and it was a struggle, but I found peace with the publisher that I chose. You know, I didn't feel like God was pushing me towards going with Charisma House at that time. I was thankful for the opportunity and everything, but even looking back on that, I wasn't ready. Just like I told you, you have to be ready for what comes with success. You know, you have to be ready for the exposure. You have to be ready for the admiration. You have to be, you know, and the adversity. And I wasn't quite ready yet. I needed to do this on my own terms. And I needed to do this as I was growing in my walk and in my faith with God. And so that's why I haven't come out with my second book yet, because after the publishing of Heart Condition, I've really had a huge spiritual growth spurt after that. And I've just been sitting at the Father's feet and learning and really studying and praying and seeking Him for the next thing that I'm going to do. So again, I just wanted to encourage you guys today that all of you have dreams and you have visions, and there are things that you want to do in your life, and it's up to you. You know, yes, it takes support, and yes, it takes people to help us out, but look for the people who are looking for you. That's what's key. You know, stop expecting people to love you. Stop expecting for people to like you and share you and support you. And, you know, they got their own problems. They got their own dreams and things that they're pursuing as well. But the right people will support you. The right people will love you, like you, share you, support you. It doesn't take very many. The Messiah turned the entire world upside down with 12 people. Okay? So if you know anything about network marketing and how you shared with your friend and they shared with two friends and they shared with two friends and so on and so on and so on, that's how that happens. That's how that happens. It really only takes one, and you're the first one that it takes. You have to take the time. You have to put in the effort, and you have to have faith, and you have to accept rejection, and you have to go through the rain and get wet and all of that before you become an overnight success. So before I leave you, I want to share something out of scripture, because that's where I find my encouragement. That's where I find my peace, my confirmation. Everything that we need, it's in the word. So, and you know what? The beautiful thing about the word is it will meet you where you are. What I'm going to read today speaks to me where I'm at, and hopefully it will speak to you where you are. We all are on this journey, and everybody is not, it's not even about levels being higher or lower. We're all parallel to one another. There are no big chiefs and little Indians. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Okay? But we all have become partakers of His grace, and we all have been given His Spirit to go out and teach and preach and share our lives and what He's doing in our lives. So, you know, this ain't about being higher than someone. I'm not sitting before you like I'm some authority. I'm an authority on my life and the stuff I've been through that I'm sharing with you. I'm not an authority on your life, but I think that we can all agree that if we go to the source, we all have access to the same source that will meet us where we are and lead us and guide us and direct our path to overnight success, if that is what we truly want. A lot of times our life is in turmoil and in angst and frustration because we out of order. We're out of alignment, and we're too busy trying to please other people instead of pleasing our Heavenly Father, which in turn is pleasing to us. Your peace comes when you stay in your sweet spot. Stay in your lane and do what you were called to do. This is John chapter 15, and the subtitle says, The True Vine. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, He takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, He prunes, that it may bear more fruit. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is cast out as a branch and is withered, and they gather them and throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire, and it shall be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so you will be my disciples. As the Father loved me, I have also loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I want to stop here for a moment. He said, abide in my commandments. And I'm not going to get into a biblical lesson at this point, but you need to understand there is a difference between the Messiah's commandments and the commandments of men and legalism. You need to understand that, and you're not going to understand that unless you study what he said. He will tell you what his commandments are. And at the end of the day, it's love. Okay? Someone asked him what was the greater of the commandments, because they're trying to get into a pissing contest and trip him up. And basically he said, you shall love the Most High with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. And you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. On these two hang all the commandments and the law. And basically that is about a relationship. It is the relationship and the reverence that we have for God in the first few commandments. And then the last few commandments, it has to do with our relationship that we have with others, our neighbors. Love is the key. Love covers a multitude of sins, and love conquers all. That's it. Love. We don't like that because it's hard to love the unlovable. It's hard to love people when they're rejecting you and not supporting you and giving you negative feedback on your dreams and your ideas, right? But the Father said, love those, bless those who curse you, love your enemies. Love is the key. And it starts, you got to love yourself too, more so. Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. But you have been taught that you're supposed to love others and put others first. You can't help nobody until you got this together. You got people out here sucking you dry, draining you for every ounce of energy, every dime you got, all your time, and you have nothing left for the kingdom or for yourself. You think that's how God would have it to be? The devil is a lie. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no one than this, as to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends, if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all things that I heard from my Father, I've made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. These things I command you, that you love one another. And I want to stop there with when he says, if you ask anything in my name. This isn't about that whole, we understand that Jesus was not the name of the Messiah, and that even in his lifetime, he never even heard the word Jesus, because the letter J did not exist until the 15th century. That is a Roman name, and it was transliterated from Greek to Latin to Greek, whatever. That, like I said, that's a whole nother story. So it's not about the name, pronunciation, the spelling, and all of that. In the Hebrew, name translates to Hashem, Hashem. And if you read about Hashem, or the name, it has more to do with the character. So when he says, if you do anything in my name, that means that we identify with his character. We are compassionate. We are loving. We are forgiving. We are gracious. We are kind. We bear the fruit of his spirit. We are like him. Therefore, when we ask anything in his character, then it will be done unto us. Anything we ask in his name, in his character, it will be given. But if you're asking anything with greed and selfishness and ulterior motives and, oppression of other people, that's not his character. You could say in the name of Jesus all you want, but if your heart ain't right, heart condition, if your heart ain't right, you're wasting your time. Okay? Lastly, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of the world, and I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I have not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled, which is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. But when the Helper comes, whom I shall send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will testify of me. And you will also bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. These things have I spoken to you, that you should not be made to stumble. They will put you out of the churches and synagogues. Yes, that time is coming, that whosoever kills you will think that he offers God a service. These things they will do to you, because they have not known the Father nor me. But these things I have told you, that when the time comes, you may remember that I told you them. And these things I did not say to you at the beginning, because I was with you. So, there you have it. Stop looking for approval, affirmation, confirmation, and validation from the world. The world will take care of its own. Okay? Do the works. Take the time and have faith to be an overnight success. I have taken up enough of your time this afternoon. Enjoy this beautiful rainy day. See it as a blessing, not as a curse. We understand that if it's because of the rain that the plants grow and the trees turn green and we have vegetation and food to eat. Okay, we'd be idiots to be cursing the darn rain. Get out there and get wet. Get your hair messed up, your shoes messed up. Go get your blessing. Continue to go through the trials and tribulations so that you can become an overnight success, and understand it takes time. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. I want to share this with you just briefly. Some of you may or may not know that my son is in the music industry. But what you may not know is he also is a very successful salesperson in a very well-known company. He's an executive salesperson. He is a good father, a provider for his family, and he is grinding in his extra time, to do this music. This is not something that he just woke up and decided to do. And he's not just some pants-sagging, mumble mouth, don't have a message rapper. This is music. It is lyrics. It is from the heart of when we all understood the words that were coming out of the rappers' mouths, and they had a message, and they empowered us and made us feel really good about who we are and told the truth about where we are. That's what he's on. He has been doing this since he was about 18 years old. In between working, going to school, playing football, I didn't even know nothing about it until maybe within the past few years when he released his very first mixtape. So if you see me posting about my son, don't think that I'm some psychotic mother who is on the bandwagon of a pants-sagging, mumble-mouth, wannabe rapper. You know, I'm this parent right here. If your music is boo-boo, I'm gonna need you to get somewhere and sit down and keep your day job. Okay? If Sydney didn't have my hair looking fantastic, okay, honey, I would tell her I'm gonna need you to go to school or find you something else to do and get somewhere and sit down. You know, hair ain't gonna be for you. If Bryce Lang was not an exceptional athlete, okay, I would not be supporting her and driving up and down the highway going to see her run. I would tell her, no, I'm gonna need you to focus on your books and get somewhere and sit down. So I say this because, you know, those of you who are rocking with me, know that I rock with you too. Anything that you're doing, I support, I love. I do it for the people that don't even support us. You know, that's just who we are. But if you see anything concerning him and you know people that love music, I just ask that you would please like, share, support, let him know that you got him. Today he is going to be attending the Kansas City Music Awards, and he has been nominated in 3 categories: Best Male Rapper, Best Lyricist, and Best Album. I'm very proud of him, and that is something that is great. You know, for Kansas City to be this little small podunk town, really in the Midwest, we're thankful for the people who think enough of the talent in Kansas City to even put on something like this for them. You know, we ain't at the Grammys and the Emmy level yet or whatever, but this is something just to help people understand that, you know, we do have talent here. We do have people that are doing something and trying to get up out of here. So I just want to thank you for your support and for your love. His album is called No More Love. It is available on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby. His project Rule of 52 is on SoundCloud. You can download that. It is free. You don't even have to pay for it. And he is putting out, the project is called Rule of 52, and there is a song coming out each week for 52 weeks. So no, he's not, you know, you ain't heard him on the radio. He's an independent artist, but he's been putting on shows. He was the headliner this past week. And there's some really great things coming out of that. The crowd was hyped. They love him. They know the lyrics. You know, anyway, I'm rambling now because it's raining and it's Saturday and I'm bored and y'all on here with me, and I'll just keep going. So I'm going to get on off of here. But remember, it takes time to be an overnight success. We always got to reiterate, you know, our message. It takes time to become an overnight success. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes faith. Be blessed, and if this blessed you, you have my blessings to share it with others. You can also find it on YouTube. I do have a little YouTube channel, Sean P. Lang, very basic. Ain't about the numbers, it's just about helping and touching and blessing people. I'm looking for the people who are looking for me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.